Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
At least you don't have rickets. Yet.
Dang it. Thanks for the compliment. Oh, crap. Carrying us. Damn.
It's like a catalog of mediocrity. It says you had a habit of snarling at people.
That's a lot.
Must remember not to sneeze near you. Good metabolism. High likelihood of digesting Zoltuna. Ooh, they must have been feeding you Spacer's Choice rations. Two left feet, huh? No matter, board outlawed dancing years ago. I bet you could thaw yourself with sheer rage.
Alright, skill. 2 points. So, what I want to do.
A crack shot. Capital. Subtle and discreet. Exactly what I need.
Range.
We'll put those marksmanship scores to good use. I hope you're comfortable with needles.
Yeah, pretty much. So what happened? Seven. Skeeton. Pow! Alright. Lock. Before I cut this one, which it's not that much.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
And like that, I have been free. Quote unquote.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down to 90%. Skip drive.
Shit.
Inoperable.
And the ship's computer scroll begins.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? A bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck!
Like everything with this dude, it works. Kind of. Alright, let's see what this game's all about.
Can you hear me? Is this thing working?
Yeah.
Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry, I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
doesn't seems to be that large though. Maybe you have different maps or something like that. Alright. Armor management, dragon armor or combat sequence, blah blah blah. Different managed armor here, blah 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 blah. Right. So I have an hibernation suit. Scientific hibernation pod, blah blah blah. Alright. So consumables, medics and all that other stuff. Adrenal. Injectable healing enhancer. Heals 20% health over 2 seconds. Alright. Alright. This emergency medical inhaler. Explodes simultaneously. Oh crap! Dang it! And I was using that like nothing. Shit. Well, occasion general, but check. For codex, what I have, basics, blah blah blah. State deprivation, supernatural difficulty. You must sleep in your ship every day to prevent exhaustion, thirst, hunger. Alright, yeah. Subconscious, travel, loot. Alright. Lockpick. Lockpicks can heal valuable loot or open new areas. Alright, armor management, whatever.
Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
Well, not bad if you count that you will also die with them. Alright, so give me your gun and I'll go get help. Someone grounded their ship legally, I'll hunt them down for you. You're an idiot. Give me your gun before you get yourself killed. Yeah! That's what I was saying!
Yeah, you sound a lot like my lieutenant. Here, hope this gun serves you better than it did me.
Yeah.
Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time.
Worst time to nail it, dude.
You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna.
Salt tuna. Seriously?
The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
I'm up! Look, I got a gun! Woo! How many ammo do you have? Oh, not bad. Not bad. Not bad.
Thanks for patching me up.
Because I need to go. So I will be quitting here, but only temporarily. So be right back. back? Well, I'm back. What's the word?
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
Why the hell did this happen? I shoot something and explodes. Why? Because every time that I shoot, alright. I need salt. Alright. Alright, now I have salt, which means I can play and eat at the same time. Here, something will explode. Face! In your face!
Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go. Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, wow, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, you sound a lot like my lieutenant. Here, hope this gun serves you better than it did me. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Yes, nailed it that time. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This... Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go. Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Hey, you've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, you sound a lot like my lieutenant. Here, hope this gun serves you better than it did me. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Yes, nailed it that time.
Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell?
mining helmet. 100 million plus 5. That's not a lot, but we'll have to do. I don't know. Weird. Look. Oh, I'm the pick. Can I consume some fish eggs? It looks like an apple. Monk apple. Can I eat it? Yeah. Bananas. A bunch of bananas. Made in space. What? Sold tuna. AC opens 25%. What? Alright, so 200 carbohydrates, tartar sauce, real atmospheric contaminants from tartar. What? Shadow distance, graphic quality, visual effects, motion blur. Hate that. Yes, kid. Yay, motion blur.
Hey! Get over here before you get yourself killed! Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech! Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about.
Yeah, but he was a very bad person. Was. So, Fred is okay.
Really? How is he? Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physicians. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs some.
Yeah, you're a bad lieutenant, dude. Alright. Yeah, I'll give you a 0 customer satisfaction. You're a bad.
Seriously? But those marauders will... Ugh. You know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. And it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
darn to find bonus. This is gonna take a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of paperwork, dude. You shouldn't have done that. Whatever.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder.
Oh shit, are you serious?
Marauder, please be informed that ignoring me is dangerous for your health. Unauthorized access of spacefaring. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction.
Yeah, dude, what are you going to do? Self-destruct? Blow yourself up. I shouldn't say that. Yeah, I'm not here to misappropriate anything. Except the ship and everything else. Yeah.
I detect an elevated heart rate, indicating dishonesty. Please prepare yourself for lethal deterrence. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne.
Yeah, he's dead.
I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand?
Yeah, I am Captain Hawthorne.
Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand?
The ship name is so reliable. Dang it. Yeah, that's right, it fails. Captain Hawthorne of the Unreliable. No.
Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
Ship called the Unreliable. Why not call it like the thing that flies?
The navigation console is offline at this time, Captain. If your equipment is in need of repair or modification, the Crux 2000 workbench is at your disposal, Captain.
Workbench. Alright, so this thing is repair. I don't have mods. I don't have mods. I don't have mods. I don't have mods. Whatever. Repair. I need to repair this. Repair, yes. I need to repair this. Repair. Why can I repair this? Whatever. Alright, break down. I have like 1 billion of these swords. Repair. Now I can repair that. Nope. Tinker. I can modify. I can modify that. Modify. Can I do that? Can I do that? Can I do that? Alright, I don't have anything, so let's keep this. Alright, so what the hell is this? 2 melee. Now you can beat a plumber. Just like the pros beat a pommel. Holy crap. With a genuine official Alliance's tossball stick. Running from Pacer's Choice. Not liable for any damages caused by what the hell? Well, this is bad and this is bad, but this is slightly better? Special effect knockdown, stagger. I'm sure 100%. Wait. I don't know. Look, I'm blind.
The ship's engines cannot be powered until a replacement regulator has been properly installed. Want to be a brand new you? Try out our respecification machine. Alex installed it himself, right before he died.
Yeah, right before he died.
Due to catastrophic power failure, all doors will remain on security lockdown. These are the crew's quarters. Alex preferred to travel alone, but he always had me. These surveillance devices allow me to monitor you constantly. Please ignore them.
So, skill points that I can use first. Alright, what perk do I have? Journal, whatever. What collects? Let's see. Blah. Nothing. Loot. Character investigation. Blah. armor management, blah 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 blah. Workbench, got this. Emergency, weapons shields, tails, sneaking stealth attack. A surface attack will sneak and inflict extra damage to the enemy. A higher sneak skill increase the bonus damage. Well, that's bad. Alright. Perks and skills. Alright, I have 1 perk and I have 10 points available for skills. So damn it. So I cannot use a specific skill. I need to choose all of them. Alright, so so the last time I said that I wanted more range and stealth, but I also need a lot of tech, because mostly I will need medical stuff. The last one will be 2 lockpick, so I can have 30. Yeah. That's just a skill value. I think I will have that. Yeah, I have that. Alright, now. More XP from companion kills. Your companions have a lot of teach you about killing. More speed from companions. More carry weight capacity. 50 kilograms! Not today. Additional stock on vendors. No. That's armor rating. Quick change. Weapon armor. Durability loss. Sprint speed. Walk speed. Damage when alone party. Tactical time violation meter max. Base health. Vendor prices. Violation recharge rate. So at this moment what I need, it's more, I don't know, more damage, but when alone in a party, but that will be really bad. Tactical time dilation meter. I can use it faster or I can use it more time. The vendor prices might be a good idea, but then again, I don't know. I think recharge faster will be better. Alright, why? Alright. Now what do I do?
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. I'll waive your fee since you helped us with those marauders. If you're looking for work, talk to the constable down in Edgewater. She's got a bounty on marauders. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
something. There. Right, pause for a moment. Let's go. Holy! Again, I am full of fire ideas. Hell! That was bad, and I thought I was going to die, and look at here, I Alright, don't tell me that. No.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. I'll waive your fee since you helped us with those marauders. If you're looking for work, talk to the constable down in Edgewater. She's got a bounty on marauders. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
light ammo. So cheers. So
Hiding? You scared?
heavy ammo. Yes. So, what do we see? Stealth skill plus 5, and this gives me tech skills plus 5.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's Marauder territory, friend. Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium?
Yeah.
Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices.
I'm the redman.
Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer? Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Four workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little.
Vai se tornar descobrir que este filho que espaço. I can find these people.
Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up. Yeah? Former people, yeah. Marauders been raiding my graves, you see. Hence the armed guards. Oh no. They are after the most precious loot of all. Spacer's Choice Company property. If those marauders swipe any more bodies out of my cemetery, company's gonna duck my pay. Hang on, I'm doing some math in my head. 20, 30, carry the one... all my life? Work's been real good to me. Fresh air, exercise. Only problem's the paperwork. Can't get anybody to pay their gravesite fees.
Alright, I'm thirsty. What do I do? God damn. Alright, this is surgery. Dang. Do I have something like more? Do you want to end your meals and luxury comfort by watching the doing something.
If you're falling sick, I don't want you near me.
Don't worry. I wouldn't do that to you.
Keep your distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler. Just gotta keep our heads up.
You read the latest report?
Only the part that said we ain't making our quotas.
Only make.
I don't know you.
Alex Turner, captain of the Unreliable.
Amelia Kim, Spacer's Choice beverage dispenser. I don't know what you're about, but this here's a Spacer's Choice drinking establishment. We're all loyal, hard-working company folk here.
Yeah, what a fine establishment we have here.
Am I that easy to read? Yeah, we've been having some problems lately. Loyalty issues, lines in the sand. I know where folk in Edgewater stand. But you, I don't know you. If you're gonna have a drink, I'd like to ask that you do it within the premises. Can't have you taking drinks over to those deserters. Coming right up.
Tropical roots. Caffeine drink. Oh, it's just coffee. Dehydrated water tablets. Water without hydrogen or oxygen. What the fuck is this made of then? Sugar? What did I just get? A live pistol.
Friend of mine died a couple weeks ago. Still ain't past it.
At least you got your health.
Welcome to the Spacer's Choice Constabulary. We are Halcyon's leading brand in frontier justice. The office is writing a promotion. Purchase 3 criminal investigations and the 4th one's free. As a Spacer's Choice Constable, I am authorized to grant you legal authority toward apprehending wanted criminals. Know how to carry yourself in a fight? I've got bounties out for these 3 marauders. Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just 1 per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller. As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity. His likeness decorates many a wanted poster. Do you have any relevant information about this individual? You are correct. An outstanding bounty has been posted for information pertaining to the whereabouts of Phineas V. Wells. Interesting jumpsuit you've got.
A friend of mine died a couple weeks back. Still ain't.
Range weapon magazine. Magazine changes the weapon damage type twice. So but I will prefer that. Which will run me 8 more DPS.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Wonder if the plague's ever gonna...
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of the pay.
The grease monkey. Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
Oh shit.
Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go. and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But I am ready to make amends if they are willing to return to the fold. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Well, I see worse in video games, so whatever. So, I need to sleep. My companions give me combat support. Holy shit, that's awesome.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Alright then. We need to go.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Let's talk when you're free. Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
Yeah, I knew that.
To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it, on account of it being the only clean thing.
That's sad.
Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Alright.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town?
How do you know I'm an observer? Because he has eyes. Spiritual honesty, you know, from here. What the hell? I don't know.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
So... faster.
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption. Glad we see eye to eye. It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
So these dudes like
Hey there, Mary.
I'm not allowed in here. Not since the vending machine incident.
Holcomb, got my eye on you, girl. Miss Holcomb ain't allowed in this establishment. Not since that little incident. Ask her if you care. I'm running a business here.
I won't touch anything while we're in here, Mr. Moreau. I promise.
Music to my ears.
Alright, so holy shit, a spear. Doesn't do too much damage though. A fucking hammer. Holy shit, 170 DPS. already tried to replace it. And I need bulkhead. What is this? Dang! Have to charge surface. Tech skills plus 5. 7. And I have small metal device to store rational energy. This is junk. How much money did I make? Nothing. Of course. So I can repair my shotgun for 2 and get how much? Repair. Oh, I can repair it. No, I'm going to sell that stuff. If it's being used, alright, so
It's not the best choice. Music to my
music to your ears, indeed. So, weapons. Is it made of
It's not the best choice. Music to my ear.
Heard something outside the walls today.
Nothing for us outside those walls.
how do I know what do I have right now?
Hey, Miss Parvati. Come for a visit?
Not today. Just helping this fella.
Lovely to see you about, Miss Parvati.
Things going all right?
Been keeping him careful and true, miss. Best.
My dad's buried here. Silas watches over him when I can't leave the house. Oh.
Something I can... Yeah? But you be... Very... Work's been real... Grave digging... You run into... Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad.
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. Guess this means he's finally heard the calling. I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies. Just my luck. I ask for backup and the boss sends me one of them simple folk. All right. Listen real close. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant, clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing shoulder to shoulder with the resistance? I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Saw tuna cans, mostly, some Spacer's chaw, few bit cards. I'll reward you for your aid. Enlistment fees? Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to give the Resistance a bad name. They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. This scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back. Mechanicals got a weak spot in their midsections. I think the technical term is, the blue glowy square thing. Go on. I'm Ludwig Miller, Associate Security Officer for Transportation. Officially? Unofficially? Strictly between you and me. I am the only thing... Go on. You ever seen the way a mechanical just stands there? Just looking at you, scanning you with its murderous oculars. Mechanicals have been programmed to eliminate the human race. They've been programmed to replace us. First, they will rob us of our jobs. And once they have taken away our livelihoods, they will take away our very lives.
So this is pretty much Call of Duty. What do I put this on? this. Oh, sorry. Alright. So, oops. Like automatic goes barber shop. Spacers, emerald.
This is where the magic happens. Well, science. But it still happens here.
Friend of mine died a couple weeks back. Still ain't past it.
Just the way it goes, I suppose.
Yes, Mr. Thompson. I'm fine, Mr. Thompson. Never been healthier. Oh, sweet merciful law! A marauder's in my domicile! There a reason you're running around outfitted like one of those monsters? Did Mr. Thompson send you to put the fear in me? Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow. Because I'm definitely not plagued. As spry as a spring chicken. That's old Abernathy. You some sort of wandering alienist? Walking into a man's own domicile, pestering him about his mental state? What? No. I mean, I might be. That depends on who's asking. Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. That's why he wants me to pay up. He knows. I'm dying. I'm not long for this world. The date of my expiration is fast approaching, and soon I shall be ushered through the great cannery in the skies.
Don't say that, Mr. Abernathy. You still got a couple decades in you.
I'd steer clear, Ms. Holcomb. My affliction's bound to be contagious. It's plague. Has to be. Silas knows. He knows I got one foot in my grave, and now he wants to charge me for the other one. I am? Law, help me. Paranoia is one of the plague's known symptoms. I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could see a way to freelancing for me, I could really use the help. There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Stronger than what we got, anyway. I need you to break in, nab that medicine, and bring it back to me. I'll do what I can. I tried medicating myself with adrenatime. Didn't do much for me, as far as I can tell. Anyway, I can't just buy medicine. Distribution of medicine is strictly prohibited to any workers beneath the acceptable margin of health. Company policy. More like the company won't treat me because I'm not healthy enough. You will not find any guards within sight of that old place. Marauders, on the other hand. I have it on good authority. There's a gang of them squatting there. I advise stepping softly. So you'll do it then? You oblige me with your haste. I think I feel the plague spreading. Oh, Law, it's in my spleen now. I can feel it.
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy.
Almost lost a finger in the cannery.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy. Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. I could do without the sarcasm. Wasn't acting out of the goodness of my heart. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker.
Nice hit! Nice one! That's the last of them.
Uh-oh, I think I'm going to die. Let's eat some bread and... Yeah, not going to change that. Or 4, alright. Not bad, but not good either. Let's go to my ship. Let's go. Right. Save. Go.
to find you.
Incoming! We did it! We got him!
Assault rifle. TNL. This is what I'm talking about. This is assault rifle.
Here they come! That's gotta hurt! Ah! Careful, you're hurt!
So much blood.
Holy crap, what is this? Mantis. Holy so I am going to restart and do this all over. Right? I'm dead.
I'm ready for this! Sure! Got it. I'm on my way. Where are we headed? That's on account of how I never met her. I don't rightly know. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. Well, I don't know about normal, Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers. You mean about the mission being too clean? There was a kind of a thing with a vending machine when I was 12. Sure, but folks got long memories around here. I've always been good with my hands, right? So I saw a lock on the machine and thought, oh, this must be how they refill it. But I had to know. So I did my thing, and next thing I know, there's a couple hundred bottles of Zero G rolling out the front door and into the road. Right about then, a bunch of loaders came rolling in the gate, fresh off the Saltuna ships. And Mr. Thompson was up on the porch making a speech about how everyone would have to volunteer a third shift to get it all canned. Anyhow, you ever seen an auto loader run over a bottle of Zero G? Exploded all over Mr. Thompson. One bottle after another as the loaders went by. I was just shy of working age, so Dad had to pay all the damages. Rose still angry at me. I can laugh about it now, but I just about puked up my guts in terror in the moment. That's the one time I ever made Mr. Thompson look a fool. I know, but Vickers says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vickers sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. It just comes off cold to me, is all. Eyes up! All right, I'm on the move! Got him! That's the last of them. Okay, here we go. Woohoo! Here we go.
Let's leave that for now.